Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be filming my August spread for my bullet journal. I really struggled with this spread because I just couldn't come up with what I wanted to do. Like, a lot of times the spread ideas just come to me either way in advance or right before I'm about to do them, and this time I just had literally no ideas for what I wanted to do for August. I knew that I wanted to do something cute. I come up with a couple of ideas. I at one point wanted to do like a cute foods idea, but then I started kind of practicing it and I ended up liking the pizza, just the cute pizza. So then I was just gonna do a pizza theme, and I actually started doing it and ended up hating it and scrapping the entire thing and starting over. I also knew that I wanted to do watercolor this month because I've really been wanting to try out some watercolors in my bullet journal. I bought not that long ago one of those brushes, as you see me using, that has the water in the barrel. And so I wanted to try that out, and I just started practicing on some regular paper, just kind of, working with the watercolor, just kind of to try it. I'm not very savvy with watercolor. As you can see, I make several mistakes in this spread, but thankfully watercolor is pretty forgiving, so they're pretty fixable. But I was just kind of trying some things out, and I just ended up doing this like sort of rainbow cloud. I was really just trying to practice blending, and it turned out really pretty, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a rainbow cloud theme, and that's the theme for this month. It doesn't really make sense, but it's rainbow clouds. They're pretty, I think they're cute, and they gave me an opportunity to work with the watercolor and try to blend different colors and use several of the different colors that I have. The palette that I have is just an inexpensive palette from, I think, Joann's. So it's not anything special. Like I said, I'm not super savvy with watercolor. I definitely need to get used to this brush because there are a lot of times when I had way too much water coming out and the page got too wet and the colors would sort of smear more than I wanted them to. But again, watercolor is pretty forgiving, so it was fairly fixable. The paper did crinkle up a little bit, as to be expected with watercolor, especially because the pages in my bullet journal are fairly thin and they are obviously not meant for watercolor. However, when they dried, I think they turned out okay. So I'm just using my Tombow calligraphy pen that is also fairly new, and I'm trying to get used to it. If you watch any of my K-pop journal videos, you will know that I don't really do regular calligraphy. It's more of what I call fake calligraphy or faux calligraphy, which means that I'm actually just sketching the letters out. I'm not actually writing them with like a single pen. If you want to see how I do my lettering, go check out my lettering video. And then my quote for this month is, give yourself time. Again, doesn't really have anything to do with the theme. It's just a quote that I want to remember this month and something that I feel like I need to look at whenever I go into my bullet journal and just remind myself to give myself time. It's okay that people my age are doing things that I'm not doing and vice versa. And I just need to remember that everybody grows at different paces and things like that. So then I just decided to add these cute little charm decorations to the bottom of the clouds. It's just hearts and stars and moons and some polka dots. I just thought it gave it a little bit of a, cutesy vibe, and it pulls in together with the black lettering that I did. This little mini calendar is also something new that I'm trying. I don't normally do one on my title page, but when I was looking for inspiration, I saw lots of people that do it, and I thought it was kind of cute, so I decided to add it to this month's spread. So as you can see here, I was really struggling with the pattern I wanted to do for the numbers on the calendar. It's really not that deep, but I just couldn't quite figure out what I wanted to do. So again, another example of watercolor being pretty forgiving. I mean, you can still see like a ghost of the pink on the spots that I didn't want it, but once I went over them with other color, I think it turned out fine. So that was kind of nice, especially because I'm not very used to watercolor. So it was nice to have like a little bit of leeway in case I messed up. So for my mood tracker, I just did some little tiny clouds, and I figure I'll either color them in with markers that are similar colors, or maybe I really will bust out the watercolors every day and color some in. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I also did one too many clouds, so I just have an extra cloud chilling there. Maybe I'll paint it rainbow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I don't normally go ahead and fill out what habits I'm tracking when I'm filming, just because I feel like sometimes they're kind of personal. So, but I just did it in this one. I wasn't really thinking. So if you're wondering why I track when I wash my hair, or that concerns you, it's actually not good for my hair to wash it every day. It obviously depends on your hair type. It's not good for mine, even though it looks nicer when I do that. But I do shower every day, just a disclaimer. So if that worried you, don't be alarmed. I am still bathing regularly. So here I got a little bit out of frame, but I'm just doing the top part of what will be my little mini calendar. So don't worry, you're not missing too much. Another thing that I really struggled with using watercolor was waiting for it to completely dry before I drew over it. It wasn't always that big of a deal, but when I would use my Crayola markers on top of paint that wasn't 100% dry, it would kind of smear and bleed because Crayola markers are water-based. So that's something that I need to work on, my patience with them. Part of that, I think, is because I did an entire spread before this and then scrapped it. So I was like, oh, I just want to get done. So I definitely need to be more careful of that next time. And here is the final spread for August. It is definitely not as involved as a lot of my previous spreads, but I think it's cute and it's pretty and it helped me step outside of my comfort zone. So I like it. I'm excited to fill it out for this month. So if you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, P.S. If you see where that 8 bled through the paper, that's what I was talking about waiting for it to dry. Later on, I actually went back and covered it up with some gel pens as sort of like a whiteout. But anyways, see you next time.